Picture this. While 20 European nations have surrendered their monetary independence to Brussels, one small landlocked country continues to defy the continental tide. Hungary, a nation of barely 10 million people, stands as one of the last holdouts against euro adoption, clutching its forint like a financial declaration of independence. But why would any country voluntarily remain outside the world's second most powerful currency union? The answer reveals a fascinating tale of economic nationalism, historical trauma, and a high-stakes gamble that could either vindicate Hungarian exceptionalism or leave the country economically isolated in an increasingly integrated Europe. Most people assume joining the Eurozone is an obvious upgrade, like trading a bicycle for a Ferrari. After all, the euro represents stability, international prestige, and seamless trade with your largest economic partners. Yet Hungary's resistance tells a different story, one where monetary sovereignty isn't just about economics, but about the very soul of national identity. When Hungarian Prime Minister Viktor Orbán speaks about the forint, he's not merely discussing exchange rates and inflation targets. He's articulating a vision of Hungary that refuses to bow to what many Hungarians see as Brussels-imposed uniformity. The roots of this monetary rebellion stretch back decades, woven through Hungary's turbulent 20th century history. To understand why Hungarians guard their currency so fiercely, you need to appreciate what monetary control meant during the darkest chapters of their past. Under Soviet occupation, Hungary experienced some of the worst hyperinflation in recorded history. Between 1945 and 1946, the Hungarian pengu became so worthless that prices doubled every 15 hours at the peak of the crisis. People needed wheelbarrows full of banknotes to buy basic groceries. This traumatic experience burned into the Hungarian collective memory a profound appreciation for monetary stability and control. When Hungary finally broke free from communist rule in 1989, establishing the forint represented more than just creating a new currency. It symbolized reclaimed sovereignty after decades of foreign domination. The forint became a tangible manifestation of Hungarian independence, a daily reminder that Hungarians once again controlled their economic destiny. This psychological dimension often gets overlooked in dry economic analyses, but it's crucial for understanding why euro adoption feels like surrender rather than progress to many Hungarians. The European Union requires new member states to eventually adopt the euro, but Hungary has masterfully exploited loopholes and technicalities to delay this transition indefinitely. While countries like Slovakia, Slovenia, and the Baltic states embraced the euro relatively quickly after EU accession, Hungary has maintained that it's simply not ready to meet the convergence criteria. These criteria include maintaining low inflation, stable exchange rates, sustainable public finances, and long-term interest rate convergence with Eurozone averages. Here's where it gets interesting. Hungary could likely meet these criteria if it genuinely wanted to adopt the euro. The country has demonstrated remarkable economic resilience, maintaining relatively stable growth and managing its debt levels competently. Instead, Hungarian policymakers have deliberately avoided taking the necessary steps, particularly regarding exchange rate stability and central bank independence. They've essentially weaponized bureaucratic requirements to maintain monetary sovereignty while technically remaining compliant with EU obligations. Viktor Orbán's government has elevated this strategy to an art form. Rather than openly defying EU pressure for euro adoption, they've created a maze of domestic policies and institutional arrangements that make Eurozone membership practically impossible. The Hungarian National Bank operates with close coordination with government fiscal policy, something that would be incompatible with European Central Bank membership. Hungarian monetary policy explicitly prioritizes domestic economic conditions over regional convergence, maintaining the flexibility to respond to local shocks and priorities. But this monetary independence comes with significant costs that extend far beyond simple economic calculations. Hungary faces higher borrowing costs compared to Eurozone members as international investors demand risk premiums for holding Forint-denominated assets. Hungarian businesses operating in European markets must constantly hedge against currency fluctuations, adding complexity and expense to their operations. Tourism and international trade suffer from the inconvenience of currency conversion, making Hungary slightly less attractive compared to Eurozone destinations. The deeper cost involves Hungary's relationship with the broader European project. By maintaining the forint, Hungary signals that it values national sovereignty over European integration, creating ongoing tension with Brussels. This monetary nationalism reinforces perceptions that Hungary is not fully committed to European unity, potentially limiting Hungarian influence in European decision-making. When major European policies are debated, Hungary often finds itself grouped with other skeptical nations rather than being treated as a core European partner. Yet Hungarian leaders argue these costs pale compared to the benefits of monetary sovereignty. With independent monetary policy, Hungary can adjust interest rates and exchange rates to address specifically Hungarian economic conditions. During the global financial crisis, countries like Greece, Spain, and Italy found themselves trapped by European monetary policy that prioritized German and French interests over peripheral concerns. Hungary, by contrast, could devalue its currency and lower interest rates to stimulate domestic demand and maintain competitiveness. This flexibility proved crucial during recent global disruptions. When supply chain problems and energy price shocks hit Europe, Hungary could implement targeted monetary responses tailored to its unique economic structure. Countries locked into European monetary policy had to accept whatever the European Central Bank decided was appropriate for the Eurozone as a whole, even if those policies were suboptimal for individual national circumstances. Hungarian agriculture provides a perfect example of how monetary sovereignty delivers practical benefits. Hungary remains one of Europe's major agricultural producers, with farming representing a significant portion of the economy. Agricultural commodities are highly sensitive to exchange rate movements, and Hungarian farmers have benefited from strategic forint adjustments that enhanced their competitiveness in international markets. Under Euro membership, these farmers would have no recourse when European monetary policy made their products less competitive globally. The tourism sector tells a similar story. Hungary's relatively affordable currency has made Budapest and other Hungarian destinations attractive to visitors from wealthier European countries. A German or Dutch tourist can enjoy significantly more purchasing power in Hungary compared to Eurozone destinations, making Hungarian tourism highly competitive. Euro adoption would likely eliminate this competitive advantage, potentially reducing tourism revenues that have become increasingly important to the Hungarian economy. Manufacturing represents another area where monetary flexibility provides strategic advantages. Hungary has successfully attracted significant foreign investment in automotive and electronics manufacturing, partly because labor costs remain competitive due to currency effects. Companies like Audi, Mercedes, and BMW have established major production facilities in Hungary, drawn by the combination of skilled workers and favorable cost structures. Euro adoption might erode these advantages by eliminating the possibility of currency adjustments to maintain competitiveness. However, the sustainability of Hungary's monetary independence faces increasing challenges as European integration deepens. The European Union has grown increasingly impatient with Hungarian exceptionalism across multiple policy areas, from judicial independence to media freedom to migration policy. Monetary policy has become another front in this broader conflict between Hungarian nationalism and European federalism. Recent developments have intensified pressure on Hungary to conform to European norms. The European Parliament has passed resolutions questioning Hungary's commitment to European values, and some member states have suggested linking EU funding to broader compliance with European standards. While these pressures haven't yet explicitly targeted Hungarian monetary policy, they create a political environment where continued forint maintenance becomes increasingly costly. The economic arguments for euro adoption have also strengthened over time. As European financial integration deepens, Hungarian companies face growing disadvantages from currency mismatch problems. Hungarian banks struggle to compete with Eurozone institutions that can offer seamless European financial services. Hungarian workers seeking opportunities in other European countries face currency risks that their Eurozone counterparts avoid entirely. Population trends add another layer of complexity to Hungary's monetary strategy. Like many Central European countries, Hungary faces demographic decline and emigration challenges. Hundreds of thousands of young Hungarians have moved to Western European countries seeking better economic opportunities. These emigrants often send remittances back to Hungary, but currency conversion costs reduce the value these transfers provide to Hungarian families. The generational divide on euro adoption reveals deeper tensions within Hungarian society. Older Hungarians, who lived through communist rule and remember the trauma of monetary instability, tend to support maintaining the forint as a symbol of hard-won independence. Younger Hungarians, who grew up in democratic Hungary and often study or work in other European countries, are more likely to view euro adoption as a natural step toward full European integration. Hungarian businesses are similarly divided. Traditional industries like agriculture and tourism benefit from currency flexibility and competitive advantages. Modern service industries and technology companies, however, increasingly view the forint as an obstacle to European expansion and integration. This creates internal political pressure that complicates the government's monetary sovereignty strategy. International financial markets have grown increasingly skeptical of Hungary's long-term commitment to monetary independence. Currency traders frequently test the Hungarian National Bank's resolve during periods of global uncertainty, forcing expensive interventions to maintain forint stability. These speculative attacks impose real costs on the Hungarian economy and demonstrate the vulnerability that comes with maintaining an independent currency in an integrated European economy. The European Central Bank's evolving policies also affect Hungary's strategic calculations. As European monetary policy becomes more sophisticated and responsive to regional variations, some of the traditional advantages of monetary independence have diminished. The ECB's pandemic response, for example, demonstrated unprecedented flexibility and willingness to address specific national concerns within a common monetary framework. Climate change adds new dimensions to Hungary's monetary choices. European climate policies increasingly involve financial mechanisms that favor Eurozone members. Green investment funds, carbon trading systems, and environmental transition financing often work more smoothly for countries using the common currency. Hungary risks being disadvantaged in accessing climate financing that could prove crucial for economic modernization. The geopolitical context has shifted dramatically since Hungary initially chose to maintain monetary independence. Russia's aggression in Ukraine has reinforced European unity and increased pressure for deeper integration across all policy areas. Countries maintaining opt-outs from European policies, including monetary union, face questions about their commitment to European solidarity during crisis periods. Energy security concerns have particularly affected Hungary's position. The country's heavy dependence on Russian energy has created tensions with European partners and highlighted the risks of maintaining policies that appear to prioritize sovereignty over European cooperation. While monetary policy isn't directly related to energy security, both issues reflect Hungary's broader approach to balancing national independence with European integration. Hungarian economic performance has remained surprisingly robust despite these pressures, which has strengthened the government's confidence in its monetary strategy. GDP growth has generally matched or exceeded Eurozone averages, unemployment has remained low, and inflation has been manageable despite global pressures. This success provides empirical support for arguments that monetary sovereignty delivers concrete economic benefits. The Hungarian National Bank has developed sophisticated monetary policy tools that take advantage of independence from European constraints. Targeted lending programs, sector-specific interventions, and flexible exchange rate management have allowed Hungary to address economic challenges with precision that would be impossible under European monetary union. These innovations demonstrate the creative potential of maintaining monetary sovereignty. Regional comparison reveals the complexity of evaluating Hungary's choices. Poland, which has similarly resisted euro adoption, has achieved even stronger economic performance, suggesting that monetary independence can be economically advantageous under the right circumstances. However, countries like Estonia and Slovakia have also prospered after euro adoption, indicating that both strategies can succeed depending on specific national circumstances and implementation quality. The future of Hungarian monetary policy ultimately depends on how European integration evolves and how Hungarian domestic politics develop. If the European Union moves toward deeper fiscal integration alongside monetary union, remaining outside the Eurozone could become increasingly costly. Conversely, if European integration stalls or reverses, Hungarian monetary independence could appear prescient rather than stubborn. Technological developments in digital currencies and payment systems may also reshape the debate around euro adoption. As financial transactions become increasingly digital and seamless, some of the practical advantages of currency union may diminish, while the sovereignty benefits of independent monetary policy remain unchanged. Hungary could potentially maintain monetary independence while achieving many of the practical benefits that traditionally motivated euro adoption. The Hungarian case illustrates broader questions about the optimal balance between national sovereignty and international integration in an interconnected world. Every country faces choices about how much autonomy to surrender in exchange for the benefits of cooperation and standardization. Hungary's monetary resistance represents one approach to these universal dilemmas, prioritizing democratic control and national distinctiveness over economic efficiency and international harmony. As we look toward the future, Hungary's forint stands as more than just a medium of exchange. It represents a philosophical statement about the nature of political community and economic organization in modern Europe. Whether this statement proves wise or foolish will depend on how global economic and political trends develop over the coming decades. The Hungarian experiment in monetary sovereignty continues, testing whether small nations can successfully maintain independent economic policies within increasingly integrated regional systems. The outcome will provide valuable lessons for other countries facing similar choices between autonomy and integration in an uncertain world. For now, the forint endures as a symbol of Hungarian determination to chart its own course, regardless of external pressures or conventional wisdom about the benefits of monetary union.